Simmers, be right here with another episode of Let's Play The Sims 4 Not So Berry Challenge. We are picking up basically right where we left off. This is still Odette's wedding day, although she did leave poor Dayton at the altar. She's currently at Francis's apartment right now. They did leave the wedding together, and yeah, so she did not get married. That was part of the requirements for Generation 2 of the Not So Berry Challenge. Let's just have her kind of like blow a kiss. And she has a whim to kiss someone, so we can do that and make that happen. But there was a lot that happened at the end of the last episode, and I kind of wanted to unpack it and explain a little bit about the machinima that I created for that episode. But it is late for them, so I think I'm going to have them go to sleep, and I'll meet up with you guys in the morning. So it's currently the morning, and Francis is just cooking some breakfast for them. He doesn't have a high cooking skill, so I think he's just making fruit salad. I didn't want him to burn down the apartment. And Odette's just kind of hanging out, waiting for him to finish cooking because she's starving. But yeah, I wanted to kind of unpack what happened in the last episode, because there was a lot in that machinima. It was like a mix of like recent events as well as past events as well as hopes for the future. So there was a lot, and if you're new to the channel, which if you are, hi, welcome, thank you for checking out this video. I want it to be so that you can actually watch this series without having to go back and watch the other like 60 plus episodes that we've already done. I want this LP to be accessible to everybody. So yeah, I kind of just want to explain some of that. So this basically, this episode is going to be a lot of me just talking and explaining what has happened in the past, how we got where we are, and kind of like what these two are hoping for their future. So, okay, let's start with the beginning of that machinima. So we focused on Odette, and basically she was reflecting on the fact that the night before the wedding, she went over to Francis's house because he had texted her that he really just needed to talk to her, because they did hook up during, was that Summerfest? I don't know, one of the holidays they hooked up. It was not planned. What? What is happening right now? Totally threw me for a loop. Was not what I was trying to do. Odette was a virgin. She's not a virgin anymore. So yeah, she went over to Francis's house because he wanted to talk to her. And basically he was like, I want to be with you. Like, we have these feelings for each other. Why are we denying it? And they ended up hooking up again. But Odette in the end decided that she was going to still marry Dayton. So she left, and Francis was heartbroken, but he decided to let her go because that was what she had decided that she wanted. Let me just give Odette something to do. Like, why don't you just go watch a movie? So you guys aren't like roaming around. We'll watch this Roaring Vice. So I can talk while we look at their cute faces. Okay, so where was it? Yes. So she had decided to leave. She told, Francis, like, I already made this commitment. I'm going to be with Dayton. This can't happen again. Like, we're done. This is over. So she left and went back home, and her family thought that she had just spent the night at her own apartment when in actuality she had stayed at Francis's apartment. So they have no idea that these two have been like hooking up and that anything's happened. Like, they thought that their relationship ended when they were teenagers. And that kind of brings us to Francis's portion of that machinima, because it was broken up into two parts. Like, one focused on Odette, and then the second half focused on Francis and his feelings for her and their relationship. So he tried to let her go. Like, he went to the wedding because he was invited. He's a big part of the family. You know, he's employed by Don. He is part of Don's business. So he is a big part of the family. So he decided to go and just put on a brave face and let her live her life, because that was a decision that she had made. And while he was watching the ceremony, he just was thinking about the other time that he had let her go, because this wasn't the first time that Francis has let go of Odette. So when they were teenagers and Odette went off the rails and ran away from home and just completely ruined her whole family for like a year. She just ran away. It was a mess. I'm not going to explain all that. If you want to know more, you can go watch the episodes in Generation 1. But yeah, she ended up moving in with Francis, and at that time, Francis was newly independent. His parents had left him and his brother, and then a few months later his brother met a girl and then just left Francis on his own. So Francis was struggling to figure out how he was going to like pay to live, like keep a roof over his head, and then all of a sudden Odette comes in and moves in with him, and now he has to take care of her as well as himself while he's still in high school. He had contemplated dropping out of high school, but he actually ended up graduating. Should we watch another movie? Let's just do like a movie. We'll watch an adventure movie now for Francis. So I think they watched a romantic movie and now they're watching an adventure movie for him. Yeah, what was I saying? So he ended up graduating high school, but before that, Odette had moved in with him, and he had basically said, you know, you can stay here, but we can't be in a relationship because, like, I can't handle having a live-in girlfriend. That's just, like, this is too much for me. So Odette was fine with that. They, you know, had a platonic relationship. She stayed on the couch. And then one day, Odette's dad, like, met up with Francis and basically was like, look, I know she's at your house. You don't even have to tell me. I know she's there. And I expect that my daughter is going to be in my house on Monday morning. And Francis really didn't know how to go about this because he didn't want to, like, kick her out. And he was, like, a teenager. So instead of telling her, like, you can't stay here, he ended up hooking up with a girl at his party, and Odette ended up walking in on them, and she was completely heartbroken because she thought that he was just going to, like, not date anybody, and basically he didn't know how to ask her to leave, so he decided that he was going to sleep with someone, and then Odette would get upset and leave, which is what happened. She ended up calling her dad to pick her up, and she went back home. So their relationship was not good for a while. So he, like, let her go before, and he was ready to do it again because for Francis, he just wants her to be happy. He really does love her, and when they were teenagers, like, he just was not ready for the feelings that he had. It was just, like, it was too much for him. So fast forward to when they're, you know, Odette's living in the city, and Francis ended up moving there because Don gave him a business opportunity, and Odette ended up hiring Francis as a personal trainer so that she could get into shape because she had started to gain weight because she was focusing a lot on work, and she wanted to, you know, please her dad because she knew that he wouldn't be happy with the fact that she gained weight. There's, like, a whole thing with Don that's, like, yeah, that's his thing. So anyway, they started to, like, become friends again, and everything was good, and you know, Odette was, like, enjoying her time, and Francis was seeing someone, and then Odette ended up meeting Dayton randomly. It was so, I had to, like, go back and watch a few episodes because I just needed to get back in touch with, like, where we were at in this series. I'm just gonna have them just go ahead and work out then. I kind of need to get back in touch with where we had come from, like, how we got here. So, like the last episode of Generation 1, Odette had like been on a date and she ended up meeting Dayton at a bar, like while she was on a date with someone else. She didn't do anything with Dayton. But when she went home, she was like, "Oh, Mom, I ran into your friend's kid, like when I was at the bar." And Odette, I always do this with Odette and Sage. Sage was like, "Oh, Dayton, yeah, his parents like passed away recently." So basically they like brought him into their family because he didn't have a family. And then Odette and Dayton started to get romantic, and then, you know, their relationship developed. She cheated on him a few times, but then decided to get serious after he proposed. And then, so basically, the whole point of why I'm saying that is Odette started to date Dayton, and then Francis broke up with who he was with, so then he was single, and he had started to develop feelings again, or like recognize his feelings, but it was too late because she was already with someone. And then fast forward to that summer fest when all of a sudden they decide to just go woohoo because I have MC Command Center and Autonomous Woohoo was activated because Bethany is a dummy. And it just like blew up the storyline even more than I planned to. But it works out in the end, I guess. So yeah, that's like how we got to where we are. And for Francis, he like wants to be with Odette. Like he wants to marry her one day. He's not ready to right now. She literally just walked away from a marriage like yesterday. So he's not ready for that much of a commitment. But he would definitely love to live together. He, you know, they need to figure out if they want to live at Odette's apartment or in Francis's apartment or find a whole new apartment. So yeah, that's like where we're at. And there was so much that had happened. I just wanted to kind of make sure that I explained it, because I can't remember if I explained like the stuff that happened when they were teenagers in previous episodes or not, because I know I did a couple machinimas and it was like implied, but I don't know if people came away with that information. So that's where they're at right now. They're both grown adults and they finally have found each other. So this is where we are today. Odette wants to buy a litter box. I think she is missing her cat Cupid. It has been a really long time since she's seen Cupid because we've been staying at Austin's house because we had so many events like in a row that it was just easier for Odette to stay in that household so I could like control all of them. But yeah, she hasn't seen her cat in like a week. I feel bad for this poor kitty. He's just been stuck with Don, or I think Cupid's a girl. Because Don is living at Odette's apartment. He did officially get divorced from Nina. They are no longer together. The divorce went through. There's been a lot that has happened behind the scenes as well as what we've, you know, done while filming. I'm gonna have Odette go ahead and use the bathroom, and it looks like she's hungry again, so I'll probably just have her eat leftovers because I don't even think she feels like cooking. Francis has to go to the bathroom too, but Odette needs to go first. Come on, go. So yeah, that's where we're at. Wow, I just like so much has happened in this series. It's crazy. We're only on Generation 2. I've been playing this for 2 years. This series is gonna last forever. But I love this family, so I can't just like I like keep dragging it out because I just love them so much, and I'm not like, I said this so many times, I'm not ready for Sage to go. I wish I could just play like Sage and Odette's story forever and just never move on, but I want to actually finish this challenge one day, so we have to keep moving forward. I think Don ages up in like 2 days. I can't believe like Sage and Alice are elders. Like I can because it's been for freaking ever, but it just makes me so sad. But the other thing, so with Francis, Odette, are you seriously talking while you're on the toilet? Like Francis needs to go to the bathroom. All right, let's have Francis go to the bathroom. Okay, so with Francis, I kind of want to develop his character a little bit more because I feel like he's just very like one-dimensional, other than his family issues, but like in terms of like who he is as a person, like he's just like a jock, and I just think there's more to him than that. I think that he might end up getting an actual career and like leave Don's business to Don, because Don's been struggling to find new customers and Francis already has an existing clientele base. And there's not enough for both of them to be successful right now. So I think Francis is going to just, bow out of that business and start something else. And I think he is like interested in writing. So maybe we'll do like I don't want to do the freelance career, because I just think it's a waste of time to write all these books for someone else to sell it when you could be making royalties. So I don't know if he'll do like the official writing career or just start writing books, but I think that's what he's going to want to do. So I'll probably set that up off camera, just kind of give him a little bit more of like a personality or a story. What does he want to do? He wants to stargaze with Odette and level up his fitness skill. I'm not even really sure how long this part is, because I never started recording at night, like a sim night, and then go into the next day. I usually do it for one full sim day, because it tends to be between 10 and 25 minutes long of an episode. So I have no idea how long this episode is even gonna be, and I don't really have plans. So I think I'm just gonna leave it off here and let you guys kind of digest all of the information I just like word vomited out for you guys. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you like this episode, please be sure to give it a big fat thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!
I know that we would never work. I know that someone would get hurt. I think I have to let you go. Should be easy, but it's not. 'Cause the problem is I love you. What to do? I count to 3 when you're next to me. I love you. What to do now? Do now. Only problem is I love you.